Hi everyone. So today I am going to be reviewing the very first episode of a show that I really enjoy, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background. So, this show was created by the same creators who worked on The Backyardigans with Janice Burgess. And that show is Bubble Guppies. So, I'm going to be reviewing the very first episode of Bubble Guppies, which is titled Call Clambulance. Now, note, I have decided a format of what I'm going to do. I am going to review a Bubble Guppies episode along with a Backyardigans episode every single Friday. I'm going to try and make it every single Friday, but if I can't, I'm sorry. Or every Saturday, I don't know. I'll think of something. Okay, so the very first episode of Bubble Guppies aired on January 24th, 2011. And, um, and this episode, and in this episode, Una's friend Avi breaks a bone in his tail after being involved in a tricycle accident and is sent to a hospital via a clambulance. Mr. Grouper also talks about bones and what doctors do, like listening to hearts and getting injections. Now, this first episode, I really like it. Can I just say, let me talk about my background of the show. So, I remember I got introduced to it when it was like, I was around the show came out when I was 3 years old. So, at the time, I was like, I see like this promo on TV because before I started daycare, I would like watch a lot of Nickelodeon a lot because earlier in the morning they would play like a lot of kid shows like Timumi Zumi, and Timumi Zumi is one of the shows I can think of at the top of my head, and Dora, and like I see like this promo of like a certain show, like I don't know if you know this, but the promo went like I'll say a quote from it like um something in an unknown world, and then Molly swims out and is like, actually it's an underwater preschool, and then the announcer's like, one man, and then Gil swims up and he's like, six guppies, and then um towards the end of the promo he's like to explore the center, the wonders of the universe. I think that's what he said. And then Una swims up with her cute innocence out, and she says, "What's a universe?" And then the creator says, and then the announcer says, like, "Oh boy." So yeah, basically, that's how I got introduced to the show. The very first promo to it, and I'm like, hold on, this. And my little kid brain, I'm like, oh my god, this is something I have to watch. I mean, obviously, it's good educational entertainment, and I love mermaids, so that's basically the best of both worlds. I honestly felt like the show was made for me, and for some reason, when I was growing up, I felt like, why does the show remind me of the Backyardigans? And I found out that two of the creators of this show, worked on the Backyardigans. And fun fact, the episode Viking Voyage with the mermaid scene with Tasha, if you remember my review, which I really love, that inspired both of the creators. I think specifically Robert's Robert Skull, I think that's his name. I don't know. That inspired him with the concept of bubble guppies, which honestly, that's really cool. So as for the first episode, I really like it. Like the songs, like got a bunch of bones inside me. Of course, we have the lunch jokes. We have we have the stories. I do like the stories. I feel like the stories in season 1 are a little bit on the weaker side. I feel like when season 2 did stories, I feel like they're a bit more action packed in my opinion, because a bit more, you know, a bit more bigger on the action. That's what I'm gonna say. But all the bubble guppies, I love them so much. Um, my personal favorites. I mean, I love all the bubble guppies, but if I had to choose, you would think Molly would be my favorite because she's the pink haired girl and stuff. But actually, not really. I mean, she is my favorite. I love her. She has a great singing voice. She's absolutely amazing. But actually, um, It's actually Dima that's my favorite. I love Dima because she's a drama queen, and whenever she's on screen, whenever this Guppy's on screen, it is so much fun. She's funny, and on the fandom, it says that her personality is as big as her hair, and we could tell like that Guppy has some personality to her, no doubt about that. I love Gil, or Silly Gilly as he's called. I love Gobi. I love Nani. I love Kilo Bubble Puppy. Mr. Grouper is an amazing teacher, one of my favorite animated teachers in cartoon media. I love the songs in this. Everything about this episode is just so cool. I love it a lot. And like the little jokes like ambulance, clambulance, like I love when they do little fish jokes here and there. And fun fact, there was actually this toy that came out. I don't know if it came out when the show first started airing, or the first couple of months where it was on air. I don't know the actual date, the actual year that the toy came out, but a hospital set inspired by the episode came out, and it came with Bubble Puppy. I think it also came with Molly. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I want that playset so bad. Not no, I don't really want the playset. It's cool and all, but I honestly want the figures. Like I want to put the figures on my desk because honestly, they're so they're so cute. But I will admit the characters kind of have a bit of a tummy on them. Like and the thing I like about Bubble Guppies is yeah, some people like have a love hate relationship with it. I seen a couple rants of this show, and let me tell you, they're not enjoyable to me at all because I don't like that. The reason why I like the show is because not only it has great songs, but it also teaches kids, like, it teaches kids what they need to know. Like, I feel like, yeah, I see why people think of this show as like, and I don't want to use bad words here, but like dumb. I don't think it's dumb. I think it's really good. A lot of the songs are really, really catchy, especially the songs in this first episode. I have enjoyable characters, you know, enjoyable characters. And speaking of characters, um, I don't know about you, but when April comes, I'm gonna have a lot to say about Nani. If you know what April is, a certain awareness month is coming up, and I would like to talk about this certain guppy and my little and why how much I love him. But I'm specifically gonna talk about him in April, so be on the lookout for that one. So everything in this episode was what a first episode should be, and honestly, I'm happy for that. You know, and I'm happy that like there's a lot of I'm happy that Mr. Grouper, he's a really good teacher. Like he's like a father figure, you know? He's like a father figure. I really like him so much. I like him a lot, you know? And and I like Bubble Puppy, even though we don't really see him until the third episode. Um uh Bubble Puppy. But fun fact, this is not actually the very, very first episode because the actual first episode was Happy Clam Day. And fun fact, people said before the original pilot was found, they were saying like, oh, the pilot is inspired by the episode Happy Clam Day because it was the first one in development. But honestly, I don't actually see it. I mean, when we first found it, I mean, obviously there was nothing Happy Clam Day related about it, but it was still a good pitch pilot. You know, I'm happy that the pilot started off strong and the pilot made the show what it was today. And honestly, I'm really happy with this first episode. You know, and I'm so happy and miss and I can't thank Johnny Bell and Robert Skull enough for making this masterpiece of a show, which I feel like was personally made for me because this show heavily impacted my childhood. It heavily impacted my childhood. Like when I was about to go, like this show was my guide for school. My guide for school. Like Junie B. Jones to school guide. Never heard of her. I'm sorry. I know how much you love Junie B. Jones, but I mean I read some of her books, but honestly I personally can't really get into her. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just my dyslexia coming out. I'm sorry. But anyway, Anyway, okay. When I was going into daycare, bubble guppies. When I was going into kindergarten, bubble guppies. When I was going, fun fact, the third season premiere of Bubble Guppies came out the day I started kindergarten. So yeah, that's a sign. If that's not a sign, I don't know what. Um um First grade, Bubble Guppies, and what was it? Second grade, Bubble Guppies. Third grade, Bubble Guppies. But no, I was still in third grade when the original run ended. Even when I was in middle school, like I was like, I don't care if Bubble Guppies isn't really airing episodes anymore. I'm still gonna watch it, you know. And I will never forget the first day. I will never forget that day. Well, I'm gonna tell you a story. How I found out that the Bubble Guppies were coming back. I was sitting on my bed, about to leave for school. Like I was eating my breakfast, and then I just turned on Nick Jr. You know, I still like Nick Jr. back then. I still do now. You know. And then I see this promo, Bubble Guppies related, and then I hear the few words I never expected to hear. Never. The Bubble Guppies are back. And I'm like, hold on. Like, I was about to choke on, when I tell you I was about to choke on my toast, I'm like, what? Hold on. Wait, stop the process. They're back? And they weren't just back with new adventures. They were back with a new Guppy. And I'll tell you that Guppy, Zuli, she's so cute. She has poofy hair. She has a clamshell in her hair. She's an animal expert. Like, oh my god. She was so adorable. I loved her so much. And I was thinking, like, aren't they gonna have a new character? And they did. They bought a new character, and not just that, but she's black, and she's amazing. And I felt like as soon as sadly, I didn't watch the very first episode of the revival when it first aired. I was in school back then. But I'll tell you this. When I did get to watch it, I was like, it's like my childhood never left me. But we'll talk about the revival series when we do. But in the meantime, I basically want to talk about this whole main video was me about what things to come for me when I do these reviews, how much I like them, and what this like. Well, I'll explain further on. But anyway, this was an amazing first episode for me. This was a great first episode. Now, am I going to rank it just like I do with the Backyardigans? Yes, I am. I am. I absolutely am. The first episode, I'm going to give it I'm gonna give it a 9. You know, I feel like it started off a bit slow, but I will say it's a 9 because I feel like it's a 9, not really a 10, because it was kind of slow in the middle. But I mean, that's how first episodes are. Like, first episodes are like kind of finding their footsteps. Like, they're finding their footsteps of like what they wanna really be, like, what they really wanna be about. You know. But I will say this is a great first episode for me, and I can't wait to continue on with this because this show left the this show. When I say this show, along with the Backyardigans, heavily impacted my childhood. It heavily impacted my childhood, especially school-wise. So, yeah. So, as always, I will see you all next time as I review the second episode of the series, The Crayon Pricks or Pre. I never knew how to pronounce the title, but The Crayon Pre. So, yeah. I'll see you all next time.